Welcome back, everybody. My name is Relic, and we are playing The Council. We are in the middle of solving a riddle that our wonderful mother left for us. We have several notes talking about finding a safe way to communicate. We found the scriptures in the Bible that we were looking for based on a clue that my mother left us. Then we found a clue about the book of Revelation, according to John. And then our latest clue is awaiting your instructions. I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. There's a guy right here that is talking to an angel, so let's investigate. Let's look at the frame.
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
I can lower the difficulty to 0 on either one of these. Let's go with science.
Pilgrims, if I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
Okay. Let's try erudition.
Must be the group of pilgrims mentioned from before. I guess maybe the city of Corinth is a reference to the epistle from Corinthians in the Bible.
Corinthians in the Bible, and then what was
Pilgrims.
the 12 and
If I'm
14?
not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
Okay. Let's go take a look at the Bible some more. Alright. Six and
Now,
7.
therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look, here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
It's under the sheet. Can I remove this sheet?
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Nope. I can only look at it. Okay. So, let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize a rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
St. Paul.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
There's a number 4 in that frame.
Painting of Saint Mark.
All right, so
from
this
the
is
collection
Mark,
of
okay.
Apostles by Guido Reni. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible. There's nothing worth noticing here. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
Okay, we're looking for 8. I should probably write these numbers down. It'll probably help me out a bit. Okay, let's look at the... Looked at the drawers. I looked at the piece of furniture. Let's look at the candlestick.
Nothing of value here.
And
It's too
behind
cumbersome
me.
for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Okay, so
Little
I've got
characters are engraved
something
on the chest of
in the
drawers under the
Bible
urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
and the number 8. I don't have linguistics unlocked, unfortunately, which may make this a little bit more difficult. But probably has something to do with Mark. Seven and a 1.
Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Nope.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here.
Ah.
A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
It probably...
I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
What, are you worried that you murdered someone? Is there anything that I could pick up in here that I left laying around that I used? I know there's a water in here, but I think... Yeah, I'm full up on... Oh, that's Devil's Thorn. Devil's Thorn displays immunities and vulnerabilities, but I'm full on those. Okay. I did not understand my mother's message. That's unfortunate. I could have found the conversation between... Oh. Oh, I didn't even level. That's unfortunate. I can choose some books to read, though. That's good. Let's see. What do we got? Let's go with diversion. What am I close to? Not really close to anything, but we could go with psychology. That'd be nice. Where am I on occultism, erudition, and politics? Occultism, I'm pretty far away. I don't have anything in politics. That might not be a bad one to point into. Okay. Alright. Let's start the quest.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Oh, we have a... servant that we can talk to here.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Shame I can't manipulate him out of all of his things. We could just go downstairs, or we could take a look around and see if we can find anything real quick. I don't know if there's going to be extra collectibles to pick up after we've already picked up all of them, but... there's a coin here. I may have just missed it before, though. This guy really likes sweeping these stairs. Can't even enter my own room. Just walking around seeing if there's any snooping that can be done. I believe that was Emily's room in the past. Okay. Oh, can't go down these stairs. Walner's room. And that's where I came from. Okay. I believe these are the only accessible set of stairs for us. Let's head down to the small salon.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay. I've got a question that might seem a little bit strange.
I'm listening.
If I said go beyond the nightmare, would that ring any bells?
No, means nothing to me. Do you mean literally or figuratively speaking?
Go beyond.
It might be a place, I don't know where, but it's a lead.
You ought to ask His Eminence. He knows the house and its estate very well, being a frequent visitor here.
Thanks for the advice.
He did know a lot about the art gallery. We asked him about that
My
before.
vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
We're gonna keep quiet about that for now.
Better keep that to myself for the time being.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Oh, it's that guy again. I don't
You
think
will
he
pay
knows.
dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
Can't imagine why. The guy is so likable.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds.
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What? Oh, no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before.
How dare they?
Oh, dear.
Oh, as if it...
Gracious.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
If I remember rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us. Sad news, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
The conclave room.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you, too. Of course.
I heard about your
I only
mother's
have
disappearance.
one chance?
He
Oh
looks
man,
concerned.
I'm gonna fail
I
this
don't
so
know
hard.
why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
It's
To hear you speak, you seem to know my mother well.
Not really. We met for the first time on this very spot some weeks back. We had a very pleasant discussion. She's an exceptionally learned lady with a good head for business. No need for me to tell you that.
I agree.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Absolutely, but I was hoping that you could tell me more about it.
Well, she was planning to sell me a very old book. I will make no secret of the fact that I am passionate about the subject. And when Sarah spoke to me about it, her account literally had me enthralled. I can think of nothing else since. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
As my mother's got so many old books, I'm afraid I won't be able to...
Oh, it's easy. You can't mistake this one. It's an ancient grimoire, composed of 7 parts. Each one is closed under lock and key. It was made in
fancy
such a
book.
way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. If you find it, you mustn't tamper with it. You see?
That's unusual.
okay. Yeah, sure.
Unfortunately, that doesn't ring a bell. I'll look again, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's
Careful
the
the choices.
search
I'm
of a
almost out of time.
lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchet in Paris. Do you know him?
Indeed. One of your close friends?
No, not really, but we were close once.
That was a very
Precisely over the
manipulative
case that
conversation.
concerns us now, because he claimed to have the book I'm looking for.
Another
He's the
dishonest
buyer.
person. What can you say? Can't trust anyone these days, huh?
No, you can't.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Volner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Volner. You're the one who von Burchert was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Oh, these are all probably not good guesses. We're talking about this right in front of this guy? Okay, cool. King of
Your
Prussia.
dear king, I should think.
What? You mean Frederick William? Oh, my poor fellow. You are miles away. That stupid, pretentious puppet wields no real power. But seeing as you do not wish to be serious, so be it. Good luck to you.
Well, I tried. Probably home. Find out more clues about your mother's note. I will walk about this room real quick.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
I think I've already been in this room. Hello.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
You'll be able to check if the hearsay is true over these next few days.
I sincerely doubt that. The context does not allow me to give him my trust.
I understand your point of view. Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed. That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
Okay. Nightmare. There's a lot of nightmare stuff in this house. Maybe a servant will know.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
I still haven't quite recovered after that boat crossing. Would you happen to have any devil's thorn by any chance?
I am sorry, sir, but the devil's thorn may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against, sir, taking any.
You see, Tribulus cystoides is from the Zygophalaceae family, very rich in nitrates and potassium
They have
chloride.
a lot of vulnerabilities.
It was used in India 700 years before Christ, my good fellow. And I know nothing better to perk you up.
Oh, as sir wishes. Here is the herb, sir. May I help you in anything else, sir?
He doesn't have any honey, and I'm good on everything else, so that's fine. I've already talked to him about all this stuff. Let's see. That looks pretty nightmarish. Boy. Anybody else in this room? Nope, just Washington. Let's go have a talk with him. Can I steal this book? No.
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Alright. Since you said so.
Go beyond the nightmare. Does this line remind you of anything in particular?
You've caught me unaware here, Louis. Let me think about it a second. No, nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Louis, but I am unable to help you.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
I wonder what promise Lord Mortimer could have made to make him agree to come here, given the circumstances.
Who knows?
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend. Regarding your question on the nightmare, don't hesitate to question the others about it. Maybe one of them knows more than I do.
That's a good idea. Thank you once again. I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay. Let's see if we can find the priest. He might know. Ah. Ah.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Your Eminence, I haven't been following the case. I'm sure that the order did everything in its power. Unfortunately, you know the situation in Paris, and, well, it's chaotic at best. Anything can happen in those revolutionary tribunals.
The king is the official representative of God on earth, my son.
Your Eminence, France has become a secular state. The king was just another citizen to them. He refused to admit his errors, looked down upon them, and attempted to escape. What did he expect?
France has lost all reason, Louis.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
Yes.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Think of a place and tell me the first thing that comes into your mind when I say the nightmare.
Let me think. I'd say Lord Mortimer's favorite painting on the wall behind his desk. You know, that painting caused quite a stir when it was exhibited. It is titled
The Nightmare, and it shows a woman lying down with a creature sitting on her, and in the background, a horse. I don't know if it will be of any help, but I can't think of anything else.
You never know. Thank you for that, though, Your Eminence.
It definitely was a literal place. Literal place.
I'm sure a man like you is in the circle of trust. Would you know what the conference that Lord Mortimer mentioned is going to be about?
Not really, my son. Well, be it Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory, we are never informed about the theme of the conference before it begins.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the Church. You can believe me.
As to his faith, I have no doubt. However, his ambition seems to surpass his morality, and I hope that it will not sully the crown.
You can say that again. The blue eyes of the latest Infanta, Maria Isabel, have left everyone wondering.
Rumors always accompany men of power, Your Eminence.
Naturally. But the number of awards and titles granted by the Queen during these past 4 years leaves little doubt.
So, Godoy really is this out-and-out rascal who uses his charm on the Queen. Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
Was there any royal honey in here that I couldn't pick up before? Fortunately, I think there was some in Emily's room, but I can't go in there now. Not Emily, I'm sorry, Elizabeth's.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Multiple royal honeys in here, huh?
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. All right. I've retrieved everything.
Let's see if we can get to Mortimer's office. I find that highly unlikely, but he is trying to help us, so maybe he'll let us in. Or at least he's interested in knowing where our mother is. Hello? Already asked her about the nightmare, so just keep on going for now.
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Actually able to get in here? There's a giant black pit in their room. Ah, water symbol.
The Book of the Mortimer family.
Move up on Devil's Thorn. Can't access that box. Full on golden elixir.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
I have no idea. Surprised he's not in here.
The Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. It's a book on the history of the Crusades. I don't think it has any connection with my research.
Oh god. That bird is definitely gonna give me away.
It looks like a war painting. Oh, it's dated.
Dear Mr. Guido Poletti, I'm writing with regard to the dates of the painting that I sent you for temporary exhibition. Please note that they are part of my private collection and are dated according to a Freemason's calendar, AL, in use at this time. At the time. As you may well have guessed, you must remember to subtract 4,000 years if you don't want the public to be surprised at the dating of the works. No need to remind you that the Freemason year, AL, begins in March, not January. About the Longinus painting, I took the liberty to have the spear touched up so that better corresponds to the actual spear. I cannot urge you strongly enough to do the same for yours. Yours sincerely, Lord William Alexander Mortimer, Marquis of Westfordshire. Counts for the year 1792. 8,156 pounds food, 6,200 pounds candles, 2,621 pounds dressed stone, 8,600 pounds Corinthian marble. What is this? He spent too much on wood. Interesting.
Let's take a closer look.
Dates? Oh, chocolates.
Judging by the shape, I'd say they're Criollo cocoa beans. The chocolate of the Mayas, the rarest of the beans. Some even say they're an aphrodisiac. When a product is in fashion, people attribute all sorts of virtues to it, not to be given to animals. Dark chocolate beans. Very bitter. They're greatly prized in high society.
Nah.
That's what you generally feed birds. Might come in handy.
Okay, before we get started into this getting behind the nightmare, I'm going to pause the video here, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.